has suffered from this terribly executed exit, I remain hopeful. Where the Biden administration has failed, we have seen veterans and current members of our armed services filling the leadership gap. Where our government didn't keep its promise, by working together, these veterans and current members of our armed services and the groups associated with them quickly built ad hoc networks to ensure their Afghan brothers in arms and their families were able to leave their crumbling country safely. Americans have been inspired by reports of Operation Pineapple Express, organized by Special Operations veterans who, without even being asked or without even asking for permission, helped hundreds of Afghan allies and their families to safety. One of the more inspiring stories from this disastrous exit involved an Afghan family being guided by his former U.S. Marine brother to Abbey Gate at the Kabul airport. The Afghan family was instructed by the U.S. Marine veterans to carry signs with them that invoked Marine Corps phrases that our Marines at Abbey Gate would understand, but the Taliban would not understand. After several attempts, the Marines on the wall saw the signs and were able to retrieve the family and escort them through Abbey Gate, only moments before the suicide attack that took the lives of 11 Marines, a Navy corpsman, a U.S. soldier, and scores of Afghan civilians. When the Marine Corps Veteran Network was eventually able to make contact with the interpreter, he was asked if he and his family were all right. His reply was, "Of course I'm good. I'm with Marines." Now, that's just one story, but this isn't the only amazing story regarding our veterans and our service members. Pictures that were taken during this time show the desperation of the Afghan people. Mothers dressed desperately, throwing their children to American troops in hope that even if the parents couldn't reach safety, their children could. These pictures also show the poor hearts of these American warriors that we honor. During this 20-year conflict of our servicemen and women have never wavered in their duty to God and country, consistently showing their ability to annihilate the enemy. They defeated the Taliban, liberated the people of Afghanistan, and protected our country from further terrorist attacks for 20 years. And during their final hours in Kabul, our young warriors did something unimaginable for almost any other country's military. They injected humanity into the dark fringes of a war-torn conflict during a mass evacuation. We've seen the pictures of Marines in full battle attire holding crying infants. We've seen our service members giving the shirts off their backs to keep children warm. This stands in contrast to the actions of political leaders thousands of miles away here, where we stand this very day. Despite the Taliban's most recent acts of barbarism, the Biden administration has begun discussing potential recognition of the Taliban as a government. The possibility of taxpayers-funded foreign aid has been dangled as a carrot to incentivize their good behavior. This is pure naivety on the part of anybody in this administration thinking about that. The Biden administration's string of foreign policy blunders has created a domino effect that Americans will feel for years to come. Afghanistan could once again become the epicenter for terrorist activities that will launch future attacks on our nation. Hopefully not another 9/11. I pray that my concerns will not become reality, but somehow I have to have fear that it will be reality. At the very least, Americans' credibility on the world stage with our allies, even with our enemies, has taken a huge hit. It's an unfortunate event that our worst fears come to life. My solace is in the knowledge that our servicemen and women continue to have the strength to overcome the failures of our own political leaders. So, to my fellow Americans, let us never forget the sacrifices of our men and women in the armed services and the sacrifices